Well, holy shit. I was just expecting that Necrons would probably just get a Silent King and a few new models, but Christ almighty, it looks like they're getting a whole new range refresh. Not too long after the preview yesterday, not long me, Jamie, and Chris did our usual weekend podcast recording. I did my own little recording, just like afterthoughts of the entire thing, and literally not long after that, the internet seemed to buzz with like these new leaked images. Leaked images. I'm doing the air quote things again. You can't see, and it's showing off Necrons looking like they've got a brand spanker's new range coming out, which is insane. Now, I do believe these images are legit. I mean, they could be very, very convincing fakes, but they would be fucking very convincing fakes. But I personally do believe these are the real McCoy. And I don't believe this isn't somebody that's got these and leaked them like without GW knowing. I think these are purposely leaked out by GW just to feed fuel to the hype fire, really. And Christ almighty, I think it's going to be working. I know fucking Jamie sold himself when he saw a few of these pictures. Christ, they look good. The Necron range looks good, real good. I mean, throwing up the first image here, this is the first one me and Chris saw last night. I mean, obviously you can see the Warriors in the foreground there. And then the Scarabs look like they've got a bit of an update, so they look like more of like a swarm sort of going on. And the Lord, just above them, fucking looks great. I mean, we saw artwork images of him, but this is the actual time we saw a model of him. The guy looks chunky. Looks very chunky, particularly like the way his like capes flowing in the wind. Obviously, you got the Destroyers in the background there with what I'm assuming is Destroyer Lord, the big fucking three-armed guy. But do you know what's in the middle? Me and Chris were having a debate about this. If you look in the middle, I reckon that's a Cryptek. Being flanked by what to me looks like possibly like two Necrons. They've got like tomb spiders strapped to the top of them. And that's something that I find very peculiar. In all these images, right, I can't see a single tomb spider. Now, I would have thought that would have been one that would have... A tomb spider, for me, it's like quite an iconic... Not iconic. It's sort of quite... It's very fitting for the Necron range. And in these new images, I can't see any of them. So I don't know whether they're doing away with it or not. But these two dudes here in the middle, flanking the guy in the centre, who I believe, if I had to take a guess, would be a Cryptek. They look like they've got like tomb spiders like retrofitted on top of their bodies. So maybe this is the new way the Necrons will interact with the psychic phase by like upgrading Necrons with like tomb spider parasitic sort of like attachments, if for want of a better word. But the real star of this particular picture and the unit the model that I think looks the best is that big long spindly motherfucker there in the top right of the picture. Now, I don't know what it's called. I'm pretty sure there's a name kicking around on the internet. I think people are calling it a reanimator, but we can't be sure of that. But whatever it is, that looks good. When in the preview when they said that Necrons were really going to lean into like the horror vibe, like the creepy, like undead vibe, I was like, yeah, I could see that. But for me, that model there is creepy as bollocks. It reminded me of just like a really creepy version of the aliens from War of the Worlds, the new one, like the tripod things, like tall, spindly, creepy looking. It looks like it's just like cables dangling down from it, like it's ready to scoop up things. But that's a star. That's good in my opinion. But it's gonna be. I bet that thing's going to see a lot of people knocking it over when the hands are going across the board. The Destroyers. You know what? I'm more of a fan of the little Destroyer guys than the big Destroyer dude, but I think that's just me down to liking even number of hands on either side. You know, I do like the way they're doing like the close combat thing. It's very nice. Again, if you look to the right of the Destroyers, there's like another little model that's like sort of like looks like a silhouette of a tomb spider on top of something. So, again, that gives me more ammunition to think that maybe tomb spiders now are going to be sort of like bolt-ons to units and things, like an anti-psychic shield. Who knows? That's just rampant speculation on my part. But this particular image looks fantastic. Obviously, with the dudes at the front. You can see the different like armaments they've got. But yeah, super, super happy with. If this is true, and I'm willing to bet that it is, but we don't know. If this is true, that was great stuff. A star. That's a really nice leaked image. Potentially, half a starting box for 9th edition. Looks good. Looks very good. And then when me and Chris were like picking over that previous picture, Jamie was like, "Oh God, I can see the entire Necron range. It looks like a new Catan." And we were like, "What crack are you smoking? There's no Catan in that picture." And then he showed us this picture. This picture is also doing the rounds. Now this one is piss poor quality, in which I apologise, guys. This is literally just fished off the internet, but you can see the vast majority of the entire Necron range there. And what have we got? We've got new sculpts for monoliths. We've got new sculpts for destroyers, which you can see in the bottom left. We've got the Silent King, obviously, in the top right. We've got the fucking destroyers in the foreground. We've got maybe immortals, maybe warriors. I can't really tell. And the most important thing you've got to look at is we've got that big dude there in the sort of center right. That could potentially be, and if this image is true, most likely a brand new leaked Catan. Now, is this a brand new Catan or a resculpt of the Deceiver / Nightbringer? We don't know at this point, but I think it looks really interesting because if you look at him carefully, you can see coming from his left hand or right, like lightning, green lightning that's arcing down underneath him. That could potentially be the thing that's holding him aloft, like eldritch sort of like lightning, which looks, from this picture, like it could be really fucking cool. Obviously, the Silent King is way in the background, so we can't get any sort of idea of the size and, you know, the scale of him, which is fair enough, but, you know, looking from this, it looks like this little diorama is going to be part of. It's going to be like monolith size, sort of that kind of thing. And speaking of the monolith, brand new sculpts of monoliths. Right? They look good. They look good. And Jamie was right on the money. That green see-through plastic is gone. So I hope all you Necron players get good at fading, because you're going to have to do some fucking green fading on this if you go for green or red or whatever colour you want. But these new sculpts look, from these pictures, from these low-ass quality pictures, really, really nice. Really nice. The Destroyer one, new big-ass gun he's holding down there in the bottom left. It all looks good. It looks like Necrons are waited patiently, very ironically, see as though it's also their kind of shtick for waiting patiently. And it looks like they are going to be rewarded. This is good news for Necrons. This is how I felt when I found out Genestealer Cult were getting a brand new range. You know, just happy, just great. Look at all the brand spankers new toys you get to play with. And from these grainy ass pictures on the internet, these backwater bootleg ass pictures, the entire range look like it's going to be on the money. And I think that's just a win-win for everybody. And oh yeah, there was some leaked Space Marine images as well. Yeah, you got dudes, you got some more dudes. You got dudes with shields, and you got dudes on bikes. Sorry. I think the Necrons are really pulling focus on this particular one. For me, anyway, just because it's a lot of stuff is looking very new and very up to date. Whereas I think there's a limit to how brand spanker Space Marines can get. They're always going to stay the same silhouette, aren't they? But hey, look, I was sort of right in some of my previous videos. We're getting brand new bikes. You can see them right there. They look like bikes, and the guys with the shields, they could possibly be the new like Terminator equivalents. I mean, the armor does look slightly chunkier, particularly with the big boy on the far left there. And yeah, Incest, I think they're Incest at the back. I'm not too sure. Got a chaplain, dudes at the top, some guy holding a big banner, and 3 guys holding big guns. I don't know what you guys want me to say about this particular picture. I mean, it's Space Marines, aren't they? They'll pay the bills. Space Marines will pay the bills, but the Necrons are where the party's at. Anyway, guys, sorry for the low quality of the images. This is like the best I could do. It's just fishing these off the internet. Let me go, guys. Bleh. Let me know what you guys think in like the comments below. I'd really like to talk to Jamie. I'd like to do a video with Jamie and Chris about the new potential Necron models. Like as I'm not a Necron player. I like bugs and tentacles and all sorts of things like that. But they look good, and I'd like to hear the feedback of someone who does collect Necrons, and you know, this range is aimed squarely at them. And you know what? It might be nice to talk to a Space Marine player if I could. About the new Space Marines, because I'm sure they're happy with them. Anyway, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. See you next time. I mean, if any more news or images drop, I'll probably do another video, but yeah, looks good to me.